What up? It's your girl Motivation with V, and this is Get Real with V, where we're going to get real, we're going to get raw, and we're going to get down to the truth. And I am your host, Veronica Suazo. Welcome back to another video. I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much to everyone that has tuned in, that has listened to the last couple of episodes. I am so happy doing these episodes for you guys, recording with other guests and just getting to know them and for you to hear their stories so you can see for yourself what it's like for a normal human being, what they have gone through, their struggles, their challenges, their ups, their downs, the good, the bad. Because the reality here, we don't really see what us normal people do on a day-to-day basis or what we go through, right? Sometimes when you see people leveling up and when they're doing good, you don't see what they've gone through, what their story has been, what their journey has been. Just being able to share with you the few people that have come on here and share their story of whether it's like their own journey or their journey together as a couple. There's a story there. They've gone through something, and why not share it? Why not share it and gives you some wisdom to help you in your life so you don't make the same mistakes we did. And if you want to, learn the hard way, then that's okay too. Like I said, I respect your autonomy and I respect what you want to do with your life. But this platform for me is a way to educate my community, to inspire more women out there and inspire men too. But my main goal is to embrace and inspire and share love with my community and share love with those around me, friends, family, strangers, and build this community. I want to spread love, positivity, and light because, you can see this world is full of hate, evilness, and it's just sad, Okay, let's get into it. So today we're going to talk about my story and growing up without self-worth and why it took so long for me to have self-love and have boundaries for myself. Because it did take me a long time. I'm not going to lie. It's been a journey. It's been since I was in my early 20s that I was working on myself. And it's not until now at 35 where I truly am embracing all of me and embracing the love within me. And my frequency is so much more higher. And I'm saying no to things that no longer serve me. So I want to share with you what my journey was like, my story, all the things that made me not choose me, right? All the things that made me feel like I was not worth it, and why I kept choosing the wrong partners, why I kept doing things that were not aligned with my higher self. Okay, let's get into it. Growing up, I was not the most feminine, so I didn't really do the things that girls normally do when they grow up. A lot of girls growing up, they're into makeup, hair, nails, and girly things. And I was just not like that. I don't know why. I have no idea. And my mom tried so hard to make me to be girly, and I just couldn't. I didn't have a makeup routine or a skincare routine. I did, however, I play with dolls when I was little. I did do that, I remember. But I was just always more tomboyish. Like, I hung out with the boys. I skateboarded with the boys on the block. My neighbors were all guys. So, I was a little bit more tomboyish. And also, I feel like I was very subconscious about my weight when I was younger. And I did like wearing baggier clothes because it felt comfortable for me. And I didn't like wearing the tight jeans because it just felt like uncomfortable. And if you know, growing up in the 80s, in the 90s, the style back then, the girls used to wear their pants like right at their hips. And you could literally, if they bent over, you could see their thong. And that was not for me. Like, I could not wear that. Like, I got curves, all right? those kind of pants did not fit me well. So I was just always subconscious and um what I just felt like I was like the ugly duckling. The boys didn't pay me attention when I was younger. Although they kind of did, but not like they paid attention to the other girls who were like the prettier ones, right? And so being made fun of, I got bullied when I was younger, and all of that played a role in my self-worth and not knowing what I brought to the table in feeling like I was ugly. I remember in high school, I actually got bullied, but in high school, I went to an all girls high school and I was with women. Like, I did not want to date men because the men were fucking horrible. They would call me from a block number and fucking just talk shit. Like, the worst thing anyone could hear. And it was like nonstop, dude, nonstop. And it was so annoying. But it's like, imagine being a young girl, and it makes me emotional. It makes me emotional because imagine growing up, you're young, you're in high school, and you're getting calls, you're getting bullied. You're getting bullied about your weight, about your looks. And it was hard. It was very hard to hear that. Excuse me. I was not expecting to cry. But, you know, it's crazy because I was dating women at that time in high school and I was pulling. Like, I had straight girls, I had gay girls. I was pulling. So I didn't really like at the same time, like I didn't really care if like men were calling me and bullying me. I didn't because I was doing my own thing. Like I had the baddest girl on my arm. I didn't care. But at the same time, like those little things were engraved in me to where I felt like I was ugly. I felt like I was overweight. And, although in that moment I might have like shrugged it off, like it still played a role in like me choosing toxic partners, me needing the validation from my partners, right? Besides the bullying part, I think what else contributed to my self-worth, like me not loving myself enough, is I didn't really have my dad growing up. My dad worked two jobs. He had two full-time jobs at that. And I didn't really see him much. I only saw him at the house. And so I just never really had him present. He was there financially. He had a roof over our head, food on the table, but I just never had that relationship with him. Then it didn't bug me as much, I guess, or maybe it did, and I just didn't really process it correctly. But now that I'm older, like I look back and I'm just like, damn, the relationship with my dad was tough because when I came out to my mom, and even coming out to my mom was hard. Like we were crying. That shit was tough. But I never came out to my dad. So dad, if you're seeing this, guess what? I like girls too. And I've never told you because I've always been intimidated and scared. I never felt open with my dad. Like I never felt like I can just tell him anything without feeling judged. That's just the truth. I'm pretty sure in Latino families, a lot of other girls can relate where it's a little harder to talk to their dad because their dad is like the man of the house. He's the leader and what he says goes. And so I definitely feel like me being bullied at a young age, me not being girly enough, I guess I wasn't really taking care of myself in a sense, all played a role in me choosing relationships that I needed validation. Me choosing relationships that were toxic, right? Because I would pull the baddest and it filled my ego up, right? Like I didn't feel wanted by my dad, wanted by these men who were calling and bullying me. But here I am finding all these women, straight women, gay women who wanted me and they wanted to experiment. And they were fueling my cup. They were literally building my ego up. And that's all external validation. That's me seeking someone else's validation to know that I am worth it. Obviously, back then, I had no idea, right? That was not something that came to mind. But now looking back, I'm like, damn, all my life, I was looking for women, mostly women, to fill my cup, to feel like I am worth something. I was chasing the baddest women. And I mean, do you blame me? Do you? And with men, back then, I wasn't really chasing them. It isn't until recently, maybe the late 20s, where I started dating men and seeing how that went. The tables have turned. Let's just say that. Like, the guys back then that weren't feeling me or were bullying me are the same ones in my motherfucking DMs. They're the same ones hitting me up. I'm not gonna go there, but it's funny how people you thought back then were the shit, the most popular ones, are literally the ones that are like the complete opposite now. And I'm talking about guys, the guys in general. Okay, I'm not gonna sidetrack. But yeah, so growing up, all of that contributed to not feeling worthy. And then I would choose these partners where I was lusting over, right? I won them over. I won the trophy, but it was toxic. It was possessiveness. It was just bad. And I allowed it because I thought this was as good as it was going to get. When you don't have self-worth, when you don't love yourself enough, you will literally accept the bare minimum, under the bare minimum. And that's what I was doing. My partners were possessive, trying to check my phone. They were cheating, verbal, physical abuse, everything you could think of. It just drove me into a whole other person that I wasn't. And I put up with it because I had no self-worth. Like I said, growing up, I was bullied about my weight, about my looks, because I wasn't girly. And so all of that contributed to me choosing partners that validated me and made me feel like I was enough. But little did I know that the whole time it wasn't filling me up. It was just breaking me down. And when I realized that I needed to stop choosing people that were just bad for me, it was a situationship with this girl. And I had the biggest crush on her. And when she finally became single, I shoot my shot and I got a chance with her. We started dating, but it just was not good. It was a situationship, right? She didn't want a relationship. She told me from the start. But she kept telling me that, but she kept trying to want to hang out with me. She kept wanting to be around me and my family. She kept doing things that were like, that she wanted to be with me. So it messed with me. And I was like, okay, maybe I could change her mind. Maybe she's just saying that right now, but maybe like she'll want to be more. I just got to stick around. So that was a whole whirlwind. Jesus. I don't regret it at all, but that girl tested me. I put up with a lot of shit from her. And I don't know what it was, but I was finally like, you know what? I'm done, dude. I'm like, you're not even a friend. Like, she wasn't even being a friend. Like, okay, I get it. We're not girlfriends, but you're not even being a real friend. Like, the things that she did was not someone a real friend would do. I don't want to put her on blast, so I'm not going to say it. But I'm just saying, like, it hit me and I was like, dude, this girl, yeah, she's bad. Yes, you've had a crush on her. Yes, you've met her family. She's met your family. And, like, it could be something, but this is not healthy for you. This is not it. So I parted ways. That was the moment where I was like, dude, why am I choosing shitty people? Why am I choosing relationships that are not good for me? Clearly. And I remember that's kind of where my glow up started happening. I started working out. I started eating healthier. I mean, before I met her, I was already working out, but it was this moment where I started embodying growth. I started embodying self-love more. And that's the main reason why I was able to leave, because I was realizing my self-worth. And I was like, I don't deserve this. Vero, you don't deserve this. And so I left. So that's where the beginning of finding my self-worth happened. If you're struggling with your self-worth, I hear you. I'm with you. I feel you. It's tough when you grow up and you don't have both your parents. When you grow up and you have one parent, when you grow up and you were bullied, you were the ugly duckling, or other situations that made you feel like you had no self-worth. But I'm here to tell you, after doing the work, there's power in finding your self-love. There's power in realizing that you don't need another person's validation. All you need is yourself, your own love, the woman in the mirror, the man in the mirror. I feel like in society, like romance and love and marriage is like so glorified. So a lot of us are just searching for our partner. And I don't blame you, because I was doing the same too. I still believe in fairy tales. I mean, I got this tattoo because I wear my heart on my sleeve. I love love. I'm a romantic. I'm a corn nut. I'm corny. And that's okay. You can be. You can still have that fairy tale in your head, but you don't have to constantly seek for it. Let it come to you. And that's something I had to learn. Even when I was single, I remember I was on dating apps and I was like meeting guys and women and checking out the dating scene. But that's not the right way to go about it, honestly. And I'm not saying you can't. You can be on dating apps, but you're not going to find what you really want on there. I mean, I've been on there and there's nothing on there. Nothing. The best thing you can do is love you. Pour into you. Chase yourself. Do things that excite you. Love yourself. And I promise you, when you do that, the right partner will come along. I am a huge believer in that. I think we all got it twisted. We're all taught like, oh, look for your partner, have a partner, settle down, have kids, get married at this age. But it shouldn't be like that. Like, let's relax for a second here, okay? Let's breathe. How about we work on ourselves? How about we work on our goals? How about we take care of us first? And then we can worry about a partner. There's a lot of you out there that are seeking somebody and you don't even got your shit together. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to call you out. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. There's a lot of you out there that are looking for a partner, but you don't got your shit together. How are you going to be looking for a partner when you don't even got you? What are you going to offer the other person? Some smiles? Some giggles? Some love? Be real. The reason why I'm so big on self-love and working on myself is because I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the highest version of myself so that when I do meet the right partner, I will be ready to give them everything I got, to be supportive, to be emotionally intelligent enough to have the hard conversations, to be vulnerable with them, to cry together, to love together. But the problem is with society is that we're seeking, we're searching, but we're not doing what's important, which is the work. Us first. Work on the mental, work on the physical, work on the spiritual. And I promise you, the moment you start doing that and you stop focusing on finding love and finding another person and going out and partying, you are going to meet the right person. Have y'all heard of the law of attraction? Because if you haven't, that's what changed my life. Go on YouTube or Netflix, look up The Secret, okay? Which is the law of attraction. You attract what you put out. You attract what you say, what you think. And a lot of famous people, a lot of celebrities know this law and they use it. The law of attraction is literally what changed me, what helped me to go from negative to positive, and what helped me work on myself and actually love myself. So as I mentioned earlier, I wasn't girly. I was tomboyish. I didn't have a makeup routine. I didn't have a skincare routine. There was a lot of things I wasn't doing to take care of myself. But now I understand the importance of self-care. I understand the importance of having your nails done, having some rings, getting my hair done by a professional, getting my eyebrows waxed, taking care of my overall physical, going to the gym, eating healthier. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a big bag and I'm still going to eat good, but 5 or 6 days out of the week, I am going to eat healthy. I'm going to exercise because not only does it feel good and it keeps me sane, but when you can stick to a habit and have discipline, it'll show in every other aspect of your life too. And also, now I have a skincare routine. Now I have makeup. My friends and my sisters were so mind blown when they seen how girly I've gotten. I'm just a lot more feminine because I do want to take care of myself. I want to love myself. I got jewelry. I'm really taking care of myself. I brush my teeth in the morning before bed. I have a routine. I make my bed. Some days are better than others when it comes to that. I keep my house clean. I wash the dishes. When I do laundry, I actually fold my clothes that night because it's the little things that really matter that you need to do that you're not doing when it comes to self-love. Like folding your laundry and putting it away after you've done laundry. Washing the dishes after you've cooked. And I get it. I know sometimes we can get lazy. Sometimes you're just like, oh, I could wait till tomorrow. And that is okay. Give yourself some grace. But for the most part, I've learned that taking care of myself and loving myself is not only choosing to not be desperate to look for a partner, but also taking care of myself internally and externally. Exercising, eating healthy, cleaning up my place, doing my laundry, having a calendar, keeping myself organized, keeping myself on the right path. Right now, I'm not drinking alcohol. And I'm 2 months in, gonna go into 3 months. And I've never felt as amazing as I do right now. I've never felt so much clarity. I've never felt so much more productive. And honestly, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. I've gone without drinking before, but this is different. I'm really being mindful in what I'm putting in my body. I want to be more mindful in how I love myself and treat myself. I'm trying to vibrate as high as I can and show that to the universe. Because when you do that, when you vibrate higher, when you love you, when you treat you the way you want someone else to treat you, the universe is going to put someone amazing in your path and they're going to be on the same frequency as you. The problem with a lot of us is we want this like amazing person who does this, that, and the third, but we're not doing it. What I'm trying to say is you can't expect to attract something up here in this caliber when you're right here. And I'm not saying this to piss you off, but I'm being for real. This is something I had to learn. The reason why I was attracting all these partners on this frequency right here is because this is where I was operating from. Now I'm moving, I'm up here. And guess what? I'm going to attract someone on this frequency. And that's what I want. That's what I deserve. Someone who's is as equally emotionally intelligent as I am. Someone who's doing the work. Someone who is accountable for their actions. Someone soft. Anyways, we're not going to go into my love life, but point is, um, it's just about my self-worth growing up. I didn't have any, people, strangers, they would put me down. They would bully me. And that played a role in how I saw myself. Not having my dad present, it played a huge role in the type of partners I was choosing. And I also went through an incident that really changed my life. And it played a huge role in subconsciously feeling like I didn't deserve love, subconsciously feeling like I wasn't worthy. Also, I had family members that would criticize me every chance they got. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. When you go to family parties and they're always criticizing your weight, they're always criticizing how you look. I got tired of it, dude. But all that is like engraved in you, Even your parents sometimes, they se pasan de verdad. They'll say like, mija, you should watch your weight. And I know they say it out of love. They really want you to look out for yourself, but like, they're like looking out for us, but then they're still feeding us multiple plates. They're still making all this greasy ass food. At least help me, educate me. I don't know what I'm doing. Shit, like when I was young, I remember like I'd have 2 plates. Dude, I was a big bag for real. But yeah, all those things played a role in me not loving myself. But as I got older and got in and out of these situationships, sometimes you got to go through the hard stuff. Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom. Sometimes you got to feel that pain you're feeling in order to get yourself out, because that's what I did. I had to go through it to see the light, literally. And I'm so grateful for my journey. I'm so grateful for the people I've met. I'm so grateful for the people that have hurt me. And if you are watching this, I just want you to know that I hope you're doing okay. I got nothing but love for you. I don't hate you. There's no bitterness on my end. I am so grateful that I met you, because it has literally changed me into the person I am today. And I wish you nothing but the best. Okay, so anyways, moving on. That's just a little bit about me growing up. Now I'm Motivation with V, and I'm exercising, I'm eating healthier, I'm in my solitude era, I got no roster, I'm chilling, I'm vibing, I'm finishing grad school, it's my last year, I'm going to be a therapist, and my goal is to feel and look the best when I graduate, and I just want to give back. I want to love and spread love and be light, and I have gone through so much that I could have took a different path. I really could have. But I chose not to. I chose a different path because, there's so many reasons why I did. One was my mom. Like, she worked so hard day and night. And who am I to like slack off when she's busting her ass, making sure there's a roof over our head? That was one of my motivations of where I went back to school. But also just myself. Like, I felt like I owed it to myself. Like, I feel like I owe it to have more in life, to be more in life. And I feel like society, there's just so much negative out there, even on TikTok. And instead of inspiring the Latin community to want more, to do more, I feel like they're trying to pin us against each other. And we're just distracted. We're distracted with everything that's happening in the world. And there's like real life problems that I know that are happening that aren't going to be fixed overnight. But I feel like a lot of that is distracting us to become the best versions of ourselves, to be more, to give more, to do more. I refuse to not do anything with my life. I refuse to not be what my potential is. And that's why I am working hard this year with school, my internship, working full time, sticking to this podcast, the gym, meal prepping, staying organized, me time, family time, friend time. I am doing my best to do everything because I want more. I deserve more. And so do you. And I hope that you've seen my journey, what I've gone through, that it makes you look at your life and makes you want to change, maybe into following your dreams, maybe doing something you thought you were never going to do. Maybe you've been contemplating going back to school, but you're scared or you think you're too old. I'm telling you, I'm 35. I graduate next year, spring. I'll be 36. 36 with my master's. Who gives a fuck about the time? Just do it. You got nothing to lose. You want to lose weight, but you're overweight and you know it's going to take a long time, just do it. You got nothing to lose. Start now. I started last year and I finally am seeing the results, the progress that I've been wanting. And I'm not even done yet, but I've been patient with myself. I've been loving myself. I've been choosing me. So all I'm saying is choose you, love you, take care of you, pour into you, and then you can do the same for others. And then you can do that for everyone else around you. But I'm begging you, love yourself first. Take care of yourself. Choose you. Because if you don't, you're always going to be in these toxic relationships. You're always going to be in these negative cycles, even in a negative cycle with yourself. You're going to be in these bad habits. You're going to be constantly going out, drinking, doing things that don't align with what you truly want, with what your actual dream is. And you guys are seeing my life right now unfold. And I promise you, give me a year. You are going to see what it takes to get from here. Remember I told you I was here and I was going up here. You're going to see what it's like from here to here. Okay? Because I'm serious. I'm very serious. I've never been this serious before. I've always done things here and then I'd stop and then I'd be on and off. But I'm telling you right now, I have never been this serious. So I promise you, if you stick around and you listen to my podcast and you take in what I say and you take baby steps, you reach out to me, you need advice, you need mentorship, I promise you, you will get to where you need to. But it all starts with one thing. And that's your self-love. I'm sure that a lot of you out there have had some sort of similar upbringing like I did, where maybe you were bullied, maybe you didn't have your parents, maybe you just didn't have the love you deserve. I'm telling you, you never needed that. All you ever needed was you, was the person in the mirror. When you can just love yourself and give that all to you, you don't need nothing else. And then when you meet someone, a partner, you operate in a different way. You operate from a higher frequency. You operate from love. I'm going to share a conversation that I had with somebody. So this guy told me he was sad because him and his girlfriend broke up. And so I asked him, do you know what you bring to the table? He said, yeah. Okay, so you know what you bring. You know that you are a great person. You know that you loved her. You know that you tried. You know that you have these amazing traits, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, okay. So then who really lost? Her or you? Think about it. If you know that you are the table, if you know what you bring to the relationship, if you know you've done everything you can, you're an amazing human being that loves unconditionally, that is truly trying, that is doing the work, that is listening to their partner, that is being healthy. If you know and you guys break up, who really lost? Think about that. And when I told him that, he was like, oh, damn, I never thought about it like that. I'm like, yeah, if you're the table, you never needed her. It's okay. The next person's going to come along and they're going to realize how amazing you are as a person. And that just like completely changes whole life, I think. I hope so. My point is, when you know yourself, when you love yourself and you know what you bring and you know that you are the table, one, you don't need to eat with anyone at the table. You can eat alone. And two, if you meet someone and they cheat on you or they just leave because you're not a match, that's okay, because you know what you bring and you know the next person will have all of that and they're not. So I wanted to leave you with that. Let's close it out with a question. Okay, so here's a question that was sent by a viewer. And please, if you have any questions or something you want answered, DM me, send me an email. You can also make a comment on the YouTube or Spotify video. The question is, can the toxic partner realize they are the toxic one during the relationship? Whew. This is a good one. Can the toxic partner realize they are the toxic one during the relationship? I believe that there are people that do know they're toxic when they are in a relationship and they're being toxic and they know that they can get away with it. And unfortunately, that's how it happens. So I will say, be careful who you're dating, because there are people out there that know what they're doing and know that they're being toxic on purpose and they don't want to change. So they're just testing you to see how far you're going to allow them to go. And then when you finally are fed up and you leave, that's when they like reel you back in. So yeah, I will say there are toxic people out there that know they're being toxic in a relationship and they're just testing you, trying to push your buttons to see how far you'll go. So be very careful in which the partners that you choose. But I also do believe, like for myself, when I was younger and I was in relationships, younger relationship days, I didn't know I was being toxic. I was being like, I didn't know that my partner was being toxic to me. Like, I didn't know it was a bad thing. Like, I didn't know how a relationship worked. All I saw was like my parents' relationships, my aunties and uncles' relationships. And then, I met these girls that I was in relationships with, and we didn't know how to handle our emotions. Like, we didn't know how to be in a healthy relationship. So at that time, in that moment in time, none of us knew we were being toxic. We were just being. We were so in love with each other that we were being toxic and we had no idea. So I think it also depends on the age too. Like, I was younger. I was like in my teens, like I didn't know any better. But it wasn't until I got out of it and I just did the work later on where I started connecting the dots and realizing like, oh shit, like I was being toxic, or, like, oh shit, they were being toxic to me. But if you're in a relationship in your 20s, 30s, they are fully aware that they're being toxic. They're just playing the game. I am more than sure. Like, and if they don't know, I don't know, sis. But yeah. So that wraps it up. Thank you so much for listening to me yap, listening to my story. I hope that you got something from this. My eyes are heavy from crying, but don't forget, please like, subscribe, write comments, give me your questions, share this with family, friends, someone you feel like can get something out of it. I want to make a positive impact, and I just want to share that what I'm doing with this podcast series is every other episode I'm recording myself alone and talking about my life and just my self-love, my solitude era, like everything I'm learning as a therapist. And then every other episode, I'm interviewing other people, other guests, and sharing their stories. And we'll be talking about a lot of things. So for the next episode, I'm so excited because this guest is a male and they're going to give their perspective and self-love as a man. They're going to talk about what it was like growing up in the mission in San Francisco and just learning how he had to change his life to be where he's at now. So I'm so excited for this. This is going to be an amazing episode, and that one drops March 17th. So be on the lookout. Once again, thank you so much for joining and tuning in and listening to me while you're driving to work, while you're exercising, while you're at home. I appreciate you. I love you. Have a blessed day.